as it's on time, I would like to start the international conference hosted by the KNU SP program. Yes, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to discuss the opening of the international conference on the current status of agriculture in Asia and Africa. I'm honored to introduce you, our distinguished guests. Please greeting our distinguished guests with a warm round of applause when each guest is introduced. First, Professor Shin Ho-jung, Director General of KNU Koica Scholarship Program. Next, Professor Kim Young-jun, Department of Agriculture and Resource Economy, KNU. Next, Professor 방현정, Faculty of Agriculture, Kyushu University in Japan. The last, the Mrs. Srishi Reiko, Faculty of Agriculture, Kyushu University in Japan. My name is Kim Jong-ha. I am a Vice Director of the KNU Koica Scholarship Program. Now, I would like to invite Professor Shin Ho-jung, Director of the KNU Koica Scholarship Program, for opening remarks.
Good afternoon. You must be confused because yesterday you have another Director General of KOICA Sp, but today I'm the one. So you must be very confused. So actually I'm in charge of first to 6 batches at the second round of KOICA scholarship program. So meanwhile, I might be in charge of second batch, 7 batches for maybe several months. But if you don't like it, you cannot join us. But if you like it, you might have a great chance to get something special from us. Okay, let me start my welcoming remarks. Dear distinguished guest, Professor 방현정 of Kyushu University, Japan. Dear distinguished acting host, Professor Kim Jong-ha of Kangwon National University. Dear Kyushu University undergraduate student from Japan. And dear my KOICA scholarship program graduate student in Department of Agricultural Economics, Kangwon National University, Korea. Welcome to our beautiful campus in beautiful Kangwon State of Korea. I believe all Japanese students have had some chances to take a look at Korean agriculture and rural areas through excursion. I hope you enjoyed it. Entitled Current Status of Agriculture in Asia, Africa, today we'll have the international conference with Japanese professor and her students. At the first session, Professor 방현정 will give us a special lecture entitled The Shifting Structure of Japanese Agriculture in Asia, Africa. And then 6 of my KNU Koica Scholarship Program graduate students will present their economic development with ODA projects. Having a chance to have such great experiences for excursions in other countries, as well as international conferences with foreign students, will give you both tangible and intangible assets for your lifetime, which must be beyond your expectation, I'm pretty much sure. Today's international conference is small-sized, but your efforts in active, positive, and aggressive manner to participate in this conference will give you a fruitful experience. I hope all of you enjoy today's international conference in our beautiful campus of KNU. Have fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Shin Hyo-jung. Okay, next is the special lecture from Professor 방현정. Now I would like to introduce Professor 방현정. Actually, she is my friend. Her major was food technology, but she has been in charge of international education in Kyushu University. Today, he will give us a remarkable special lecture on the safety structure of Japanese agriculture. Please greet our special lecture with a warm round of applause.
Okay, thank you so much for your introduction. I'd like to move my presentation a little bit. I'd like to have some more time, just a little bit. I'd like to. Okay, can you see? Okay. All right. First of all, I'm very honored to invite this kind of special seminar and conference time. I'm very happy, and also I feel so honored. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah. Why I come to here? Actually, I also making some international educational program with our Japanese students and with the Korean students, and that's why I'm visiting here. Here, as you know, see my name is here. So Hyunjung Bang. I'm Korean. Yeah, definitely I'm Korean. But I'm living in Japan almost 20 years already, and I'm very used at Japan. And that's why maybe if you have interest in Japan's agriculture, maybe I can give you some information. Okay, please enjoy. And also, I really welcome your questions, many questions, and also discussion time. And that's why during my, during my what can I say, presentation time, you can interrupt me. Okay, good. Okay, my seminar's title is a shifting structure of Japanese agriculture. It means is Japan also like a Korean almost resembles system, but they also get many issues about the agricultural system and the structure, and they effort to change their all issues or some problems, and that's why I'd like to how they can effort their issues and to solve the issues, and what is changed based on their effort. Okay, that's why. Yeah, I'd like to start my story. Okay, before starting the full story, briefly I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Hyunjung Bang. Now I'm saying the second time, and I was also the international student in Japan. A first-year student in my undergraduate program, and I went to visit Japan, the Kyushu University. Now the job positioning the university. I also visit as an exchange student. Just 1 year I visited Japan, but that was very, very impressive for me. There was very new world. At that time, my major was food technology, but I couldn't find out the majors in the Kyushu University, exactly matching parties. I couldn't find out them. And that's why I just slightly changed my majors. My visiting lab was nutrition chemistry. Very related the wide meaning of my major, but not was exactly the same one. But as you know, even though that was not my majors, we can matching and also slightly approach them. Okay, and that's why I enjoyed my nutrition chemistry studies, and that was my majors, my master course, and doctoral course. After the exchange program, I'm going back to Korea, and I decided to go again to Japan. And because the nutrition chemistry study was very interesting for me, and that's why I'd like to continuing that. Just a moment, please give me some time. Because, just a moment. Okay. Right. And that's why my educational history is, first bachelor course is I graduate from the Korea side, but my master and doctor graduate from the Japan, the Kyushu University. Okay, as I mentioned, my first major was widely, I always talk my major is food science, but detailing my major is nutrition chemistry. Right, but as you can see here, my work story is very, very variety. I couldn't keep the major field is I couldn't keep my research field because, yeah, so many accidents was in there. And that's why I have to change my career. And first, my career was kind of academic supporters. That is, we usually call the university research administrator. My job was just planning for collaborative academic project. That's why I couldn't do my research directly, but I can keep think about how I can making the research project. Okay, if you get the master or doctoral degree, you can understand what is the research, okay? And then you can design how and what subject you can design also based on the purpose. That's why even though you cannot joining exactly your major field, you can find out the alternative way to use your major or knowledge. And that's why I just give you some advice. Don't worry. You can keep and your quality and your pathway and career pathway. Okay, right. After getting my degree, almost 10 years, I doing many different jobs. And finally, I got some position in the Kyushu University. It means, as I mentioned earlier, I already living in Japan is 20 years. And I already spent times of 15 years as a student and the other positions member of the Kyushu University. But from 2018, I got some position, assistant professor, and this is not graduate school, the Faculty of Agriculture at Kyushu University. Right, now I'm doing some teaching and research, and also I'm making the other research project also. Yeah, many different positioning, many different job I'm doing in the same organization. Yeah, this is kind of a different alternative career path, I think. Right, and then I'd like to, the last 3 point is my current project. I also focus on the post-harvest physiology and agricultural exporting. This is very different field. The first part is very agricultural technology part, and the other part is I'm very focused on the economics, kind of economics part. This is kind of conjugated or some integrated research field for me. Okay, as I mentioned, also I'm creating the R&D project, especially focus on the business model or through the industry, academia, government collaboration. And the other part is I also, as I mentioned, I'm doing the undergraduate level students. That's why, and today's my students are also based on these projects and this. Okay, a little bit complicated and very alternative career path, and this is me. This is me. Okay. All right. I'd like to move to today's contents is here. Yeah, main topic is Japanese agriculture. Japanese agriculture, and the first topic is I'd like to introduce you the current of Japanese agriculture for the sustainability, and the second one is challenge and innovation of Japanese agriculture. And the third topic is impact of Japanese agriculture on the world. And the fourth one, based on my research and development projects, I'd like to introduce about this project because my topic is very related to the agriculture exports. That's why if we have time, I'd like to introduce my project also in this presentation. Okay. Technically, move to the next slide. I'd like to give you some information. Can you see this part? This is today's the whole presentation is based on this material. This is Japanese government of Ministry of Agriculture, Forest and Fisheries side. Every year they issues the annual report about the whole Japan's agriculture information. That's why if you have interesting these topics, and you can download this information directly, and that's why later I will give you the QR code. If you want to check, you can use that. All right. Can I start my story? Right. Okay. How about you? How about you? Have you ever seen this kind of a landscape? How about you? Yes, okay. Where do you see these kind of? Oh, right. Where are you? Indonesia. Okay, I got it. Okay, how about you? The other guys is? In Japan. Okay, yeah, this is exactly Japan. Okay, that's why. How about you? How about you? The other guys is? Yes, most of the Asian countries, especially Korean or Japan, these kind of Asian countries are having green mountains and green paddy field. These kind of landscapes we have it. I think it's very common, yeah. But the other African students are a little bit different because your countries don't use any water. I think even though you guys is making the paddy field, but you guys is don't use any water. Am I right? That's why a little bit different. The landscape, I think. Yeah. And the second one, how about this? These women or some people, how about you? You can guess, can you guess how much age, what age is this person? Can you guess? 50? Okay. How about the over or down or where? Over, okay. Why do you feel the over? Why do you think it? Exactly. Yeah, you are right. You're right. This is very typical Japan's paddy field is the landscape, I think. Usually these small size paddy field, so usually it means it's like these kind of areas the people is doing the agriculture, farming is like this. And that's why usually these kind of people is a very elder generation. Am I right? That's why these two pictures very connected, very related, having relationship. And one more picture is here. Yeah, I think you know well these SDGs, especially our students already talking about this all goals, is right? That's why I think you guys can understand it. Okay, why I'm taking these three pictures, how they are making the relationship. Yeah, let's see how they can relate it in this presentation. Okay, let's see. Okay, first of all, I'd like to introduce Japanese agriculture, very simple numbers. In Japan's agricultural GDP is 4.32 trillion yen in 2021. Compromises, this is only below the 0.8% of total industry. How do you feel this number? Very, very tiny, very tiny. And this is forest, this agricultural GDP is excluding the forest and fisheries number. If we included this forestry field and fisheries field, each number is here, and these are all things, even though combined, these three areas not reach to the 1%. it's really, really tiny number compared with the old industrial side. Okay. How do you feel? These numbers is agriculture is be a big industry in Japan? Not so much. Not so much. But yeah, okay. This is my question. Okay, even these kind of numbers we need to ignore. We have to ignore this number. How do you feel? No. Why no? Why no? Why? 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 I think you already know this answer, right? Because I think our international students and Korean students also understand it. Because you guys is explained, right? Sustainable agriculture for our sustainable life, right? That's why food security is very key word. That's why, even though in less than the 1% the industrial size, but we cannot give up. We cannot ignore these numbers. Even though we have to develop on this industrial side, right? Okay. And this Japanese agriculture is having the 3 different keywords here. Okay, this picture is also related to this word. And the first one, okay, Japanese agriculture's characteristic is the first one is a small farmland area. I think this is very close to the resemble to the Korea, almost the same situation, because Japan and Korea having so many mountain areas. That's why we cannot keep the farmland area. That's why this is very, very resemble the condition with the Korean and Japan. The second one, okay, aging farming population is very similar to the Korean and Japan. Okay, this rural side also we can see the elder generation people. Yeah, elder generation people. And also Japan side is almost the same. And that's why what happened in there and also what is the characteristic in Japan side, I'd like to explain about this part. And the third one, okay, this is also very the significant issues for us, and also in Korea is also same. Low food self-sufficiency rate is very low. I'm sorry. Okay, food self-sufficiency rate is very low. Also, I think the Korea and Japan are almost the same number, almost the same number. But composition also the contents is a little bit different, but the final number is very close. Okay, do you know your country's self-sufficiency, food self-sufficiency ratio? Indonesia. Yeah. Just guess. Okay, good. It's very high, I think, because yeah, Indonesia and Vietnam is very high. I remember the Vietnam's number. Someone's Vietnam. Okay, do you remember your country's number? Food self-sufficiency rate. Okay, I think 110% actually. Yeah, very high, very high. And many of Indonesia and so the other East, South, and Asian countries very high self-sufficiency ratio because it is very related to the rice production. Rice production. That's why very relative the number. Okay, anyway, these kind of points I will explain about the Japan's agricultural situation. Okay? Can I go? Right? Good. Okay, as I mentioned, the Japan's have some characteristic about the small farmland area. Okay, Japan's limited land area due to its small size of and also mountainous terrain, as I mentioned. Yeah, this picture is exactly that one. The mountainside, and also we having the very tiny the paddy field. Okay, and high population density and contribute to limited available farmland. As you know, the Tokyo and also Kyoto, very high population, right? They are all areas usually used for their living in there. We cannot find out any farmland in there. But usually, rural side, they're having so many of farmland area, but they are also having so many mountainside also. That's why Japan cannot have any much the available farmland. And the third one, Japan's arable land for householding lengths low compared with the other countries. For example, the America, Australia, these kind of countries very huge land, but Japan and Korea also not so much farmland side. This is very same condition, I think. And the first one, intensive agriculture with significant use of chemical fertilizer due to the limited spaces. Okay, as I mentioned you, the Japan side is very tiny size of the farmland size. We have to effectively making our outcomes in the same land. At that time, what is the tool? What is the tool? In the field, in the farmland cannot have disease. You know, the land side is condition landscape. Can I say that? Okay. Farming land condition is very important key. We need to keep this condition. Land condition is we need to keep the high quality. For that, we can use the fertilizers, chemical fertilizers. I think this is very common sense with many of Asian countries, because many of countries also use the chemicals. That is also some big social problem of your side. Am I right? These kind of things is very close. Yeah. This is the very traditional and typical contents about the Japanese agriculture side. Okay, from now, I'd like to show you how they can overcome that kind of issues, and also now current situation. What is the current situation of the farming land? Okay, farmland area is every year declining, like this. In 10 years, very much areas is the farming area is declining, and estimated to be 4.35 million hectares in 2021. And the next figure is also showing how much declined and decreased the ratio is showing this each prefectures. Okay, the yellow one is not so much decreased, but the red color is very decreased the farming land area. Okay, how do you feel these pictures? What area is very decreased? What kind of area? Do you know every? Oh, sorry. Yeah, downside is exactly. Yeah, I'd like to give you some names. The island. Okay, this is Hokkaido. Have you ever heard about this name? Hokkaido. Yes, thank you. And this long island name is Honshu. Okay, main island. And the third one is a little bit tiny. The area is here. It's Shikoku. Okay, this is the fourth one is Kyushu. I'm from Kyushu. I'm from here, right? This kind of Japan having 4 different big main island. Okay, as you can see here, the Hokkaido is, as you know, very famous for the agriculture. Okay, and the other part is not so much famous for the agriculture. The other part is more than famous for some industrial side, or the capital side, or the more city side here. Yes, I know. Do you know the Ibaraki? Where is Ibaraki? Yeah, around here. Yeah, I'd like to show you this point is the city side, especially capital side, the farmland side is decreased. It means, as I mentioned, the household place is better. They're precious for them. That's why. Okay, even though they wanted to more taking the farmland as a farming, but they failed kind of meaning. But the component is a little bit changed. Okay. Okay. As I show you the slide, I think you guys see tiny, separated the forty-field, and how do you feel that? You can use that can you use that the areas? Can you use a machine? It's difficult, maybe, right? And that's why many of the places they have to use a hand, and Yeah, the size is very important issues for the farming, and also, yeah, please remember this point is the small size is a little bit difficult to farm, okay? And this slide is showing the red part is borrowed farmland, and the green part is owners cultivated land. As you can see here, every year a little bit increasing the cultivated land is increased, but the composition is a little bit different. But both sides is also increased. Please remember the borrowed cultivation land and also owned cultivation land is this keyword. Please remember, and this is later, so I can explain about this. Okay, anyway, the areas of cultivated land is under the management for the management entirety is expanding. This is true, and including the increase in the borrowed cultivation land is. Why the farmers borrow the farmland? This is topic is related to the next topic. The population is aging. Okay, and the first the point is planted area of wheat and berry and legumes, and the number of animals of pigs, layers, and sectors in which cooperated management entity are increasing, have more than the double in 15 years. Okay, this cultivated land is not only focus on any planting, and the other purposes are we also using this kind of land. Yes, just to remember this figure. And the next one, this figure is showed to the number of management entity of the social scale of areas cultivated land under the management. The left side is all agricultural management entity, and the right side is corporate management entity. The red one is 2005, and the yellow one is 2020, the most recent, latest one. And how do you feel that this is the scale? Is hectare is the size, the land size is here. And as you can see here, many of parties, their size is 0.5 to 1 point. It's very tiny, okay? But this is their major landscape management entity. It means it's very small size farmers having the landscape, but the farmers' aging is increasing. What happening there? Yeah, please guess. And also this part is a very huge size of landscape size. As you can see here, the yellow part is increasing compared with the 2005. It means is small size land is decreased. The big size land is increased. This is the owners lent to the big size company of entity, and they are meaning is the former graph is the borrowed cultivated land is meaning is here. Can you understand my explanations? Oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry. I feel so nervous, and that's why, because I'm thinking about the time. Okay. Anyway, this figure is very current situation about the Japan's size. Who are the farmer and the farmers? The age is what age, and also how they can have relationship with their farmers' age, and also landscape is usage is very connected. Okay, I hope you guys understand my explanation. Okay, just a little bit skip. The next topic is aging farming population. Okay, the majority of farmers are over the 65 years old. How do you feel this number? Amazing. I know. Actually, more than higher these days is. This high number is very posing the challenges for the young entrants, right? And farming is often posed as a side job, and due to this aging, the demographics. And the third topic is the lack of successors and uncertain future for the Japanese agriculture. And the first one, the government and cooperative actively improving the training programs to address to the issues, actually. Yeah, this aging farming population is very, very big problem in Korea and also Japan. Yeah, and as I mentioned, these farmers' average age is over the 65, is very old. I think they can keep anymore this farming, but these high ages kind of were against the younger generation because they cannot communicate with them. That's why this is very big problem in Korea and also Japan side. But many government side and also cooperatives, they wanted to improving this kind of problem, and they providing many of the educational program for the come over these kind of issues, and they wanted to making the new movement about that. And okay, this from here, I'd like to more detailed information about the aging farming population. And here, as you can see here, this number is very, very small number compared with this 2005, almost a half number, right? The number of core person mainly engaged in farming is declining. The number is 1.36 million into 2020. It means this farming meaning is here. Household members aged 15 years or older who were engaged in personal farming as their main work in the year prior to the survey date. I mean, in Japan, the farmers, usually farmer is meaning all day they work as a farm, okay? The cultivating also agricultural farming is a, okay, this is a usually farmer, but some parties just weekend I'm farming, and some half of days in a week is they can farming, and some kind of side job I'm farming. Is these kind of different farmers existing in Japan, and this is only use the whole day is work as a farmer, and this number is this kind of amount is very declined. This is very big problem. Also, the land, farmed land is related to this part. Okay, the next one is trend. This is showing the trend in the number of core person mainly engaged in the farming by age group in here. Okay, the red one is also 2005, and the yellow one is 2020. And you can see here is the elder generation is here is over the 70%. It's very huge, isn't you? Isn't it? And as you can see here, the under the 49 age is only 11%. 11%, very small number, I think. In 2020, people aged 65 and over the accountment for the 70% for the total number of the core person mainly engaged in farming. In contrast, the younger group is only 11% here. Yeah, as you can see here, the red is 2005 and the 2020 is here. The elder generation is a little bit declined, but as you can see here, we can have some more hope in here. So yellow part is a little bit increased, very slightly. This is kind of maybe a good point for us, maybe. But we're trying to change this kind of situation. It's still have a problem, many part. Okay, this is just 2 years compared to 5 years. As you can see here, as I mentioned, the elder generation is very declined, but slightly increased the younger generation. This is maybe kind of we can take some hope about the Japanese agriculture. Why this generation is increased? We'd like to focus on more next slide. As you can see here, this is under the 49, more than younger population is here, but their composition is this kind of way. Okay, can you see this? Okay, paddy field rice is still the many of persons, but this is only 4.5% only under the younger generation, and many of people is focused on this kind of way. Greenhouses grown the vegetables, right? I think horticulture's items are including in here, and many of guys is focused on this kind of field, and also fruits and trees, and the other one is flowering plants and shrub trees. This kind of field is young generation is concentrated here. And also daily farming, beef cattle. How do you feel these items? What do you think about these items characteristic compared with the paddy field? I think their income sizes are very different. Paddy field compared with the paddy field. These days is many of the world demand is also the increased the fruits, vegetables, and also meat part is increased. But Japan population is very declined, and also the domestic demand is very declined also. But as you know, many of the Asian countries and also the African side is their the population growing is very fast and also high, and their demand is changed actually. They not only they focus on some grains actually. The economics growing give them many of a chance to purchase the other items, not only the grains actually. The vegetables or meat, more preference items they can choose and they can buy, and that's why Japan side also focus on that kind of field. That's why the composition of the agricultural, the items composition is very changeable. Okay, under the younger generation is more than seeking the money side. Okay, that's why they are more focused on these kind of items and also these kind of, these items, I think. All right, and I'd like to give you the last topic, the first part, and the low food self-sufficiency ratio is also very big problem in Japan, and overall food self-sufficiency ratio is around 40%. 40%. I already mentioned about the Indonesia or some the other Asian countries already close to the 100 or over the 100, but Japan only having the 40%. Do you know the Korean side how much? Not so different actually. 37 or 38, this kind of number, I think. That's why Korean side also a big problem, these kind of things, right? And grains, especially the corn or soybean and these kind of items have a self-sufficient ratio, only the 30% lower than the total number. And hyper-dependence of food impact is lead to the concern about the food security. Okay, why we focus on the self-sufficient rate? This is how much part we can provide and we can eat by ourselves. This is very important numbers on the food security. As you know, due to the COVID, all food distribution is not moved. And also now the Russians war is also affecting these food distribution situation is very bad effect in there. These kind of ways, food security and food self-sufficiency ratio is very delicate issues, each country. Every countries, due to the COVID, every countries, they thought about how they can keep this self-food sufficiency ratio. And that's why many of countries, they already moved to the R&D program is how they can keep or some increasing this ratio. This is very big issue. And this is especially the agricultural economics part of students, your homework, this is. Okay. Okay, this is the total years of Japan, the food self-sufficiency ratio. We usually two numbers based on the calorie basis, and the other one is production value basis, two different one. But we usually focus on these one, this red color dot, and this is calorie supplied basis. Usually, when you eating the every meal, what kind of items is composed your meals? For example, in Korea, so rice and soup and kimchi and the other side of dishes. These kind of all items is including the one meal. This is one meal is having the all calories, and these calories, how much items and also how many items is composed this one meal, and all items is where from, and these kind of things is we can calculate is based on the calorie. And this kind of way, the only 37% items we can making by ourselves. This is very big problem. When we get to some worldwide war, and at the time we can destroy our distribution or network, is we only can take 40% or calories can take in our own country's item. This is very imbalanced, and also some cases having very big health issues, I think. That's why we have to thinking about how much and also what kind of item we can compose our meals, calorie basis or some production basis. This is why we only we focus on these kind of numbers. Okay, right. Okay. Until now, we checking about the agricultural characteristic of Japan, and we having the three different items. The first one was, I'm sorry, a little bit back. First one was here, right? It's a small farmland size, and also aging farming population is very big problem. But these two is very related. As I mentioned, so the elder generation is getting older and they cannot anymore farming, and the land is just in there. That's why we need to use more usefully to cultivating. That's why they can lend the land, and also someone's to a more younger generation people is that they can borrow the land for the more valuable items. For example, not paddy field. Okay, so for example, greenhouse vegetables or fruits or the livestock. These kind of items that we can use more the land, because and that's why the aging generation, the aging farming population and also land situation is very related in there. And based on these kind of situations, we have to thinking about the food self-sufficiency ratio also. What kind of items and how much items we can produce by ourselves. Okay, until it's my first topic already, time is fast. Okay, have any question about this? Can I move other topics? It's okay. It's okay? Right, okay. That's why for them, I'd like to just briefly show you our main item of Japan. As you can see here, this figure is showing what kind of items is they are cultivating in their country. And the yellow part is the rice and the agricultural items, and the green one is vegetables, and the orange is fruits, and the blue one is livestock, and the gray is the other items. How do you feel? The composition is very different compared with the first the generation here, and these generations very different. Especially, I'd like to you guys is focus on this number here. This is the livestock composition, very increased compared with the 2084, and also especially please focus on here yellow part. So rice part is also extremely decreased. These kind of ways, Japan's main items very dramatically changed compared with the 30 years before. And this is, as I mentioned, and also we already see the other slide, and younger generations, what kind of item they are focusing. This is very exactly the showing of what items they are focusing. Okay, this is just what each areas, what kind of items they are making. Even though the Hokkaido, the first part was rice, all of the Japan was they are making the rice only. But to 1990 and also 2020, even though the Hokkaido, their main items changed to the livestock, right? And the capital side, also usually their main field is from the paddy field to the fruits or the other vegetables. These kind of ways, each prefecture's items also changed. How do you feel these kind of situations? What do you think about that? The marketing side, what is the marketing side needs? We have to think about based on these pictures. Okay, the customers, customer side, what kind of items they want, right? This is very, what can I say, easy to understanding what is those customers' needs. Yeah. Okay, and yeah, this is okay. Yeah, until now, I've given you some very current situation of Japan. Okay, Japan also very traditionally, they focus on the paddy field, the rice cultivation. But these days, is their focus, their items is very changed. Livestock or green items and the fruits, these kind of things. These kind of items is very valuable items, I think, because the farmers can increasing their incomes, I think. That's why these kind of items, main items is changed from the last year. Right, okay, until here, do you have any question? It's okay? Any comment is fine. Okay. Okay, actually it's not clear actually. They also thought about how they can earn the working age people. And it is very similar situation with Korea. And they also thought about how they can earn and recruiting the younger generation. But I think this is just my personal opinion. These days is usually Japan side, their farming style is very just traditional, and only their family can do by themselves the farming. But these days is Japan side is recommended making some company as a agricultural company, because agricultural company can hire some recruiting the younger generation, and also the company style is they can provide some salary, okay, and every month. And this is kind of a salary system is very important for the younger generation, because the young generation have to making the family, and also they can develop their family and also income is very important part. That's why I think the Japan government side also, they recommend to the family side, just personal farmers, and to make the company side, and that is kind of a solution, maybe, and also government side is doing and recommend that kind of way. It's enough for you? Yeah. It's kind of yeah. I mean, I think that your comment is how we can sustainably making our house also home. Am I right? Yeah, that is very related to their income size, I think. And usually in Japan and North Korea, agriculture side is especially the family farming style is not so much their income, not enough to making their or development their family size. But why we younger generation people is move to the industrial side? That is the salary issues, I think. If the farming is can providing some stable the salary system, maybe our rural side and also these kind of low the birth generation, the ratio is maybe discovered, I think. The same thing. Is the government side, the Japanese government side, they thought of like that kind of meaning. That's why the government side recommended not family style the farming, is they recommended making some company style. And also not family business, I mean, more industrialization is better to keep the agricultural system, I think. Okay, is enough for you? Okay, good. All right, I'd like to just give you the new items, how they can, how Japan side, they can making the sustainable agricultural system. And as you know, can you see these pictures? This is showing, this is very related to the farmland size. Okay, as a former slide is also show you the, usually Japan side is very small size of land scale. But as I mentioned, the elder generation is cannot do farm anymore. That's why they can rent their land. And some area they can gathering the rented the land, they making and also rescaling the small size land, and they making the more bigger, and also they can destroy their line edge, because the more bigger size land scale is can use more useful and easy to manage, and also easy to cultivating with a machine. That's why these kind of way they can making more what can I say, ordinary sizes land. This is kind of one way of to effort to the making the more effective farming style by Japanese government side. And the other one is more digitalization, the farming, their cultivation method, and these pictures are also same. But I'd like to show you, okay, this is my question. What is this, okay, so many of members, we all of the world members talking about the sustainability. And what do you think about this? What is the sustainability agriculture? Guys, is you students, you already talking about that. What is the sustainability of agriculture? How do you feel? Okay, a little bit difficult question maybe. And this is very, okay, yeah. So yes, sustainability meaning is continuously making something, right? And okay, how we can making this sustainability? Okay, how we can do that? That is focus. These kind of seminars also focus on that point. And many of the SDGs related, actions or things related to the how we can making the sustainability, how we can making the continuously keeping this cultivation or these agricultural system, right? That is very big issues for us, and many of R&D is focused on that point, I think. Right. Just I'd like to show you. Okay, Japan side, 2020 or 2021, they established a new strategy. The name is okay. I think you can see here. Okay, Midori. We call these these the letters we call the Midori. Okay, this is I'm sorry. Midori. This is Japanese, but we call this strategy's name is Midori strategy. And the detail, please see here, measures for achievement of decarbonization and resilience with innovation. Very huge name, you know. Okay, but this is very good direction. So how we can making the decarbonization and how we can recover the resilience. Okay, this is all strategies goal. Okay, and Japan's government already making the 14th the target we call the KPI, and already these 14th KPIs are shown here, and you can see the more detail if you want. You can checking the QR code I will give you, and you can check them. And also all these are benchmark to the UN food system, and it means it's SDGs. And they also thought about how they can develop and provide the SDGs goals and approach the SDGs and what they can do in their strategy. And this is we usually call the Midori 戦略 Midori 戦略と言います. Okay. I think not only the Japan or your countries and also Korea also having these kind of strategies for the sustainability of agriculture. And please checking your country's strategy and also compare with the Japan. It's a little bit interesting point, I think. All right, I don't have any so much time. I'd like to give you some DX. Use this is kind of innovation for the keeping sustainable agriculture, and yeah, is promoting the smart agriculture. Japanese government side is they try effort to promote smart agriculture. We usually call the DX of agriculture. But this is very simple. I already, you guys already know, many of IoT, the tools, and we already apply for the agricultural side. You know already the smart farm, right? Have you ever heard about that? Yeah, smart farm. Many of smart farms, we using many of sensing, right? Gas sensing and light sensing and the windy, these kind of all cultivation environmental items or the parameters we can take at the same time in real time. And this is a sensing technologies applying for the smart farming, right? And Japan side also use this kind of many of digital technology, and especially these pictures. Some farmers, wearing some glasses, and the glasses watching the fruits, and the glasses catching the differentiation of color each of the items, and these items can already scan these colors or size, and also some differentiation with the other ones, and this is all data is saved as a figure and photo, and also backside is these each data. The backside is machinery learning, is they can study in AI and study what is the difference, and also what is the most suitable harvest timing, and these kind of things they are learning many of the items data set. And even though I'm very not mature, the farmers, I can use that kind of data set or some already studied data. The data can help me. I can suitable timing the harvesting that items. These kind of ways they wanted to overcomes their weak point is kind of elder generation have so many matured experience, and they can understanding what is the suitable timing. But young generation or also beginners of farming is they cannot understanding the when is the suitable timing for harvesting, and that's why they can get help that kind of data set, and also former farmers' experience can help their farming. Right, this kind of way they'd like to making some platform, this kind of information platform, and they also making these movement DX. And many of data is they use the data set style is the government the standard, and they wanted to making the full platform. But Korea already done this part because Korean side is already more bigger companies already making these tools provided as a standard. That's why already Korean side is their all data is same standard. The data is already getting, but Japan side is each different companies making these same items and also sensing method, and that's why they taking the very different type of the data style. Japan's side of issues, this is very big, and that's why they wanted to making the standardized data form as a platform. Okay, this is a little bit different part of Korean and Japan. Anyway, I'd like to give you for the sustainable agriculture, they trying to making many the government side strategy, and also this kind of technology, innovative technology they are taking now. And the third one, this is a little bit interesting movement. They'd like to making some interesting movement, half farmer and half something. What? Yeah, a little bit crazy sound. Yeah, as I mentioned, it's not these days. It's not only farmers, not only focus on the farming, right? And also maybe the more digitalization is improved in agricultural side. Maybe they don't need to focus on only farming. And at that time, so what happened in the village, and that's why they are focusing on not only the farming, it's the farmers, not only the farming, and they do the other one also making focus on some concentration, the other actions. Some cases, these kind of the other way is making some more income. At that time, at the cases, the farmers can making more sustainable, continuing their farming, okay? Because they don't have only one income line, okay? They can have the other line of income, and that's why more stably they can making focus on their job, exactly. And yeah, all right, okay, until when I can keep. Do you have any question about this part? It's okay. Yeah, sure. Mm. 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 Yeah. Very nice question. Thank you so much. Actually, next part is that one. Okay, why Japanese product is outside of Japan is very high prices? Okay, we'd like to talk about that. As you can see here, so strawberries, especially high price item. I think not only the melon. I think the first item is the strawberry. Yeah, strawberries. And also this beef is also very high prices item. Yes, and also sushi is not very high prices. Okay, I'd like to give you some strategies about the Japanese government. Okay, Japan's traditional protect. Okay, their policies usually after the the Second World Wide War, Japan side wanted to protecting their inside domestic industry it means it's agriculture. They wanted to protecting their agriculture side, and then the policies, many of parties involved the trade barriers of price support mechanisms, result in the significant protection and subsidies provided the government. It means they wanted to keep their the farmers' income, and they also wanted to protecting their market side against the other world. But as you know, how can I say that? Okay, but many of countries have to trade each other, and at that time they have many contracts about that. But Japan side very strictly keep their market sides and how they can keep their market side and prices. They provided many subsidies to farmer at the government side, especially rice and that kind of items. They wanted to keep their some prices because as you can see former the slides, 1964 was very almost all item was rice. That's why rice is very important, significant item for the farmers to keep their incomes, and that's why government side wanted to broken their rice prices. Okay, but many of years later, the all of the world's trade condition is changed, and many of TPP. Have you heard about the TPP? And many trade many of countries they are making some contract group, and in the group they have many detailed conditions. The conditions very affect to the making the prices. Okay, and anyway, the Japan side have to change their strategy based on the other around the country's situation. Okay, yeah, I'd like to talking about these pages. My point is here these policies very restricted by the government side, and these measures came to cost the customers, taxpayers, and foreign producers have the burden from the strict price strategy. Yeah, that's why when you bought the Japan's item, you paid some tax or the other prices you paid, not the inside the domestic members. And the other one is this one. 2003, Japan government side is understanding, realized about the Japan's population will be decreased. Okay, my country's market size is shrinked. Okay, how we can keep the farmers' incomes like this? Okay, they at that kind of realization is there. The government side to turn out their viewpoint is outside of Japan. Yeah, they focus on the they focus on the foreign market. They can selling their own items to the other countries, and then when they selling their items, and they also getting some subsidies from the government side in some cases, but here is written here, and they making some new policies aimed to the promoting its agriculture product in the international market. And historically, the Japan agriculture sectors was perceived as inefficient and lacking competitiveness on the global stage, and leading the government to prioritize protective measure against foreign competitions. The recently development in the overseas market have presented new opportunities for the Japanese government industries. I mean, as I mentioned, the global population is increased, and their economics growth is very increased, and it means is they can have a purchase. They have. Can you understand? They can purchase many of things, and there is kind of a chance to Japan. And they focus on the international market, and it means. But Japan, as you know, the Japan's product is very high quality, and their quality is very different compared with the other countries. Very preference the quality, I think. That's why your needs is making that prices, I think, right? Okay. Yeah. The one key is, as I mentioned, the growth, economics growth in Asian countries or the other countries, purchase ability is very affecting the Japanese items prices, I think. And also Japan side, they're having this is kind of national brand, I think. They having very strict, and their quality is very good and also healthy, and also these kind of good images affect to the prices, I think. That's why when you bought the melon from Japan in your country, it's very high prices. All right. Yeah, this kind of based on this kind of strategy, Japan's focus on the exporting, agricultural exports. Okay, this is from the starting from the 2003. We usually call that the seme no nogyo. We call that. But this kind of mood, they can the government side making set the goal for the exports. Okay, 2020 they wanted to making the 1 trillion yen. They wanted to making the export prices. But this is very complete. They completed this goal a little bit 1 year later because due to the COVID. But they successed. Getting this achieved this goal, and the next step they thought about the setting the second times goals. Okay, 2021 they set the goals. By the 2030 they wanted to make the export prices of 5 trillion yen. It's very huge number, I think. All strategies focus on this kind of direction now. Okay, this is real data for their export the situation. This is 2021 situation. They already overcomes and also they already reached their goal. And some kind of meaning is their strategies very ongoing, the step by step. And then, right, this is all strategies related to these kind of goals. And these days is also Japan government side is making the subsidized and also support the system for the increasing their export number, I think. All right. This is other item. Okay, until here, I'd like to give you the current situation of Japan and how they can shifting structure of the Japanese agriculture. And if you want to more detailed information about the Japanese agriculture situation, you can access here. This is QRL, give you this annual summary. And every year, this is updating. And if you have interesting, please access the year. Right. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Wang. Even though I study in Kyushu University in Japan, but I don't understand this Japanese agriculture. Today I also learn is Japanese agriculture. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll take a rest there for about 5 minutes to arrange the podium.